Joining us from Black Lives Matter. Can everybody give a round of applause for them? Warm welcome, everybody.
Well, I want to get a round of applause for y'all because this is a beautiful action. And I want to thank Susie, etc., the women who have led this. Let's give them a big round of applause. You know, a lot of people have a hard time understanding what intersectional unity is about. And I know this group doesn't, but the reason that we're here is because your fight is our fight. Yes, absolutely. Your fight is our fight. When you say that your children are dying, that's our children that are dying. When your people are starving, that's our people that are starving. The diaspora is all over the world, and we recognize. My sister Melissa talked last night. She said, who better understands what it is to have your own state, your own government come after you, right? This is what we experience here. This is what the Tigray are experiencing, the Tegaru are experiencing in Tigray. We understand that. So we stand with you. And we want to make it clear, yes, absolutely. We want to make it clear that these systems of capitalism, of power, of colonialism, of expeditionary exploitation, they have been around for centuries. And just because it's African folk killing other African folk, it's no different. We, as people of Africa, have learned to survive, have learned to love, have learned to work together, have learned and evolved because of what we've been through. You can see that in the TPLF. These are people who are able to survive and to thrive despite all odds against them, and we will continue to do that. And we want to learn from y'all, and we want to support y'all, and I just want to say thank you very much. Anything that we can do, just call, and we're here. Thank you.
I'll give a round of applause against for Vince for Black Lives Matter. I would like to thank all the youngsters, our children, for organizing this event. Not only this one, most of the events were organized by our children. I wanted to thank you. We have hope on you guys. I want to stress on this one. We have hope on you. Even for those we are here, we're getting on. We need help in the future. So we are getting on. Now we have hope. Personally, I believe on God. I have hope on you guys to help me when I need you. Like what you are doing now to the Tigray people. You guys have been a voice for the voiceless. I want to thank you. I want to thank the parents also for teaching them, for guiding them to be like this. Without the parents teaching our children, I don't think they would understand what's going on now. So, I'm still talking to the young. Your fight is still going to continue. We're still trying to change. And next year, that's what we are hoping, that's what we're going to do. You guys have a lot of work. Even the survivors of the rain, the survivors of the killing, they're going to have a lot of trauma in their heads. So we have a lot of work to do. Not only financially, psychologically. I've been there. I saw people in my classmates get killed. I've been there when the drought happened in 1984. All those traumas are still in my head. I still have dreams. So we have a lot of work to do for the survivors also. So I want to encourage you, the youngsters, please be there. Please involve everybody. It's not only you guys. There's so many of them. Please engage them, find them, teach them what you are doing. And I want to thank you guys. Hopefully, I'm going to go to the war. I'll have to go to the الزوج صاحبي يقولوا لنا عارفين أبتكار كائن الجنسات أقام مثلاً يقدر يطلع على بقية كملوني تطلع من الفرق فلذا يكون صاروا تزول نعم تعالنا فأول أكثر تستعي جنبي تدعمه الصغيرة لنا تدعمه الزحف بس أستاذ وتطايق نجوم تعليم فايلو تقاسمي من نفسه لنا تزول عن حال تمسك الأطفال لنا بزوج ورقة بزوج سيد الأيام بزوج الحيوان بزوج الورقات بسرنا وضعنا وصلنا هذه الجبال نروى يوجد جبال نروى الحين يقول إذا نرى كذبتنا وقال صورنا يوجد الورقات الأولى هذه أيام مصنع يسار اليوم من ناس جبنا بالعرض لنا كل عزوة لنا أي لنا أبحث موضعنا القول جمعنا الحمد لله على خطرنا بما نتبع
Yes, that's right. But then at the same time, I heard that they were gold, like the Ethiopia song. So I'm like, this is Amharic. You heard that? Yeah. So I was like, they can't be so good if they play that song. I just can't wait for something to happen to them.
Okay, thank you to Hadera. Give a round of applause for Hadera, please. Next up, so we're here to march for our brothers and sisters back home, right? We're also here to remember those we have lost. As you guys may know, this is the Kapita Sapahara. So I'm going to call up Sahai, who's going to lead us in lighting some candles and just remembering all of our family members, our brothers and sisters that we've lost in the struggle.
بنو خلاتنا قدمي إذا اسمورات كلكم لذكرى سماعات تدالو بيقوناتنا تنسخن لذكرى سماعات تدالو ذكروا نسوات عرفتي هذه مزمور ناي سوات فعود سنترو نحن سمع بنتان نخينا وحكم من الله أنا عرفت إنه لكم زلنا اوكي عرفتي ان نزلت في نوغراس كلها اسس تقرا اسلام قاضو فها فقرا لا يحلها كلهم نعم مدرك بعلو قصر نحرهم نعم مدرك يغنينا يغنينا እዚህ أنا ቦታ አምለቱ ወሞ يغنينا ተጋደል ተሰዋት يقنينا بروجرامنا كنتلنا إذا نسوي فيها Does everybody stay with us? Out of these, heck yeah, I feel that. First I want to just acknowledge, our celebration of your KETO Safahade. While I was in Sudan, there were a number of other people there. Obviously, I went to capture stories of refugees, but there were some other Tagaru who were there to assess the needs of the people, and one of those people was Tagaravit Mentoab. I don't know if you know who she is. She was one of the first women to join the movement. And it was such an honor to sit with her and talk with her about what that was like, how women first got involved. She could name, like she was naming names of the first women who joined the fight. And she was telling me stories about, this is graphic, but you know, the women would get their periods, but there was no water and their underwear would get hard to the point where it would cut their legs. Like that was the level of struggle that they had fighting for our freedom. And so I just want to acknowledge her, and having met her. By the way, she has a sort of a broken leg. She stepped on a like an IUD in the field, and you all know our fallen father Asmalash, who was blinded. He was blinded when she stepped on that IUD. So that's how connected she is to the struggle. So I want to acknowledge that. I spent about a week visiting the camps in Sudan, and as you all know, I was born there. Many of you all had children who were born there, so it was a really interesting coming home for me, but it was also sad because all of those camps are full again with our brothers and sisters. I'm going to give you bad news and then good news. The bad news is everything our families are telling us is real. It's real. So in spite of people who try to tell us we're exaggerating, or who try to drive by blasting their music when we're talking about rape, children being raped, keep voicing that, get louder. When they come by, get louder. Don't get mad. It just shows you're on the right side of this. The stories were horrific. I'm just going to share like little bits of information. I met a young man named Filmon from Zalambesa, 20 years old. He was at home with his mother when Eritrean soldiers were going through terrorizing people, and they came to his house, and his mother said, Filmon, what day? She sent him into the bathroom to hide and opened the door for the soldiers. And when they saw her, they threw a grenade that blew her up, and they ran. And so when Filmon came out of the bathroom, his mother was dead. She saved her son's life. So these are the kinds of stories that I heard when I was there. And Filmon is completely broken. She died for him. His mother died for him is one way to think of it. But another way to think of it is she saved her son. She wanted her son to live. And it's just an awful story and a common story. So when people tell you there are no Eritreans there, get louder, because they are there. I spoke with a doctor in Hamdait. I didn't visit Hamdait because of the border conflict and time constraints. I couldn't make it all the way there. Hamdait is 5 kilometers from the border of Ethiopia, and they're currently, at war with Sudan, basically. But there's a doctor there named Dr. Tedros. Dr. Tedros is a hero. I hope I can meet him someday when we get access. Dr. Tedros is treating all kinds of wounds and people who are coming in, and he won't leave Hamdait because he needs to be there to help people. So he's basically risking his life and staying there. And Dr. Tedros told me he treated a 7-year-old rape victim. She was gang raped, not just raped, gang raped by Ethiopian and Eritrean soldiers. So the other thing, I'm really proud of Tagaru women because they're coming forward and they're speaking up. They're not hiding. They're not, we have a problem and we tend to shame women when certain things have happened to them. But Tagaru women are stepping up and speaking up against what's happening to them. And it's as sad as it is, it's also beautiful. I want to say one more thing about our mothers. I met a woman named Muru, and she is mentally disabled. She was in my cadre when the massacre happened. I spent a lot of time talking to people in my cadre because I wanted to get the true story out about what happened to them. And I think that story is going to air in the next few days on Tigray Media House. But Mulu, when the attack happened and everybody was running away, there was a little boy named Abadi who was like frantic and just didn't know what to do, and everyone, it's chaos. And Abadi's probably 5 or 6 years old. Abadi has Down syndrome. Mulu is mentally disabled, but her motherly instinct kicked in and she grabbed this little boy and took him to Sudan. It turns out that Abadi's mother was killed. And so this little boy who has Down syndrome is now with Mulu, who herself is not even mentally well. So I'm giving you these stories not to depress you. I hope it gives you a feeling of strength and power about the resiliency of Tagaru and the fact that even in the worst circumstances, how they're still helping each other and grabbing someone else's children. I heard a story about a woman who she thought she grabbed her child, but she grabbed someone else's child. That's how chaotic it was. And she didn't know until they were too far gone that she didn't have her child, and she can't go back. So there were so many stories like this, and it was really heartbreaking. But I want to tell you that the spirit of the people is not broken. They are not confused about what's happening in Tigray, so we shouldn't be confused either. They also know what we're doing here. They hear us, they talk about it, they ask about it. So don't think that we're just marching for ourselves. You are actually giving them hope. They know, they see, and man, they all love Tigray media. They watch it. There's a satellite TV in the camps where everyone gathers and watches. So they see what you're doing, and they get it, and they feel the support. I got a video today actually from somebody about the children in Umar, Cuba. They finally started school. I don't see Tagai Hailu here, maybe he's here, but he made 350 books of FIDA for me to take back, and we were able to deliver those to the camps, and the kids finally started school. So shout out to Tagai Hailu for real. He's such a hero. He's a giant in our community. I just want to encourage you all. I'm going to stop there because I could go on and on forever. And it was really a traumatizing experience, even for me when I came back. I had a hard time like returning phone calls, and people would call because you're always, you're worried and you want to know what happened. And I had a hard time just getting out of bed, to be honest with you, because it was just a lot of trauma. And all I did was listen to their stories. It's not even me who went through it, so you can imagine what the people are feeling. But they're not confused, and over and over and over again, I heard the people say, we will go back when the government we elected calls us back. I was really floored by, I know. I thought they would be mad. Like, I was curious about what the people would say. Were they mad at the government of Tigray? Were they angry? Like, where were they at? And they're not confused at all. So we shouldn't be either. So I just, on a last note, I want to say, no matter how many priests they murder, no matter how many mosques they bomb, no matter how many manuscripts they steal, they cannot touch the revolutionary Tigrayan spirit. Love always wins. Always wins.
Thank you, Minister. Rina is Alafatize, Al Banis, Imotani, Al Marta, Imotani. Sekelian Samana Al Minister, Ologa Difa Heda. Rahaga Difaya Heda, Lian Sarwa Arapaho, Nina Togari, the Helagatana, Hipalatana, Homer Kuhuna, I Holun, and Nunum, Sima Tolidomium, Abra Tolidomium, Ayarama Tolidomium, Palmata Tolidomium, Tigray, sir. I saw a Mitzana in the military. تتقاي بدي هاي سنة بنورا لما عن تقاك سنة زلا نبي عي قاتل كنا خبرنا إلم نبع الزوزي نبع السلام نبع السمال الذين مدلاون بتعامينا نغور عنن زوزي سمال سلام thank you هذه تقلنا نسلام سبعي سلام program الله.
Thank you Melissa, our hero. I'm saying this for everybody. Next up, we have a staple in our community. He's one of our leaders.
So the youth know the meaning of the KETO. What is the KETO? What's February 18th? What did we celebrate yesterday? 46 years ago, 10 individuals, 10 young students at Addis Ababa University and few professionals marched, left the comfort of their living situation in Addis Ababa and went to Dedevic to start an armed struggle to overthrow the Derg dictatorship. In the process, there was just 10 of them with 3 rifles and 2 guns. That's it. No military background, but they had a political agenda. And that political agenda was to bring fairness, equality, democracy, and self-rule. So for that process, they went to Dedevik, start talking to the people of Dedevik 46 years ago. Then they started to understand the problems the people of Dedevik and in the area, a small village, were facing. After they continued to address those issues, they continued to address next town's issues, and before you knew it, there was some level of peace coming down to the region. There was no peace before that. A whole bunch of bandits used to travel around, make people suffer. Some noble families would make families farm just to get 1/5 of the grains. A lot of evil deeds were happening in the hands of few. Many were suffering. And TPLF came in and started alleviating those problems. Now, throughout the 17 years of struggle, they continued to fight. They continued to get the support of the people. They continued to use the arms of the enemy to kill the enemy. They didn't use anything from outside sources. They didn't have international backing. They didn't have any money of their own. Yet they used the enemy's tools to beat the enemy. Now, not only were they capable of beating the enemy with the enemy's tools, but they were also able to bring some change for the people of Tigray who were going through a famine. Many of you know, in 1985, We Are the World was done to help primarily the people of Tigray. There were others, but primarily to help the people of Tigray. But what TPLF did at the time is start making ways so that Tigrayans who were in this famine were able to go to Sudan and find a little refuge. After that, in 1991, they established a constitution, starting in 91 to 94, 95. They established a constitution that made everyone, every ethnicity, nation and nationalities within Ethiopia to have equal treatment under the law. And so when we talk about the 46 years of TPLF's history, the inception of the armed struggle, it is the men and women, the 60,000 men and women who gave their lives for it. It's also the 100,000 that were disabled for life. And many who died in the process that didn't get accounted for, civilians. You remember Kayshuper, you remember the other atrocities that happened under the dirt. Now, I say this to bring back to what we're going through right now. Right now, we are faced by multiple enemies from multiple directions. And this is not the first time. Back in the earlier stages of the struggle, TPLF had to fight 3 parties from different corners in order to free Tigray. And I want to assure you wholeheartedly, we will prevail. We will destroy the enemy, and we will free Tigray. Free Tigray.
Thank you, Danny. Daniel. All right. عندي قلنا برنامجنا نيونا كلهم كيتخدوا وانا نايساتي فوق زخونه مستان كمتيون كذا قلنا تسفى عالم حقوق ترد لنا 3 دقيقة زعما يقاتل بسمالاتو تسفى عالمنا مدرك تسفى عالم
تجارب فترة تجارب كما يعيشوا كما لهم لما جمريا انقاح من عن كتيشن من جمعة البلدة وقالتي بالتجراي أبتحنا بتعرفون كل فتو مسكانا خمسي قربان وتبرر يغني تتبقى فتو أجل ذهب كامي بمسكانا الرسل تدحروا في حسب البلدة تجني جانبية معرفة تعجبني الفات دعوة هناك تجربة حتى تعجبني مع باقي المخارجين نظام مناسي دكنا نحواتنا بحكي from day one كان بتمر demonstration protest Denver in general, for giving us the right of way, for even mounting your vehicles in support, for every police personnel, every media people. I want to thank you. Thank you very much. بالمقال كم تلمود عقلي لومي كم تحرمنا يوم حموشة بتشتا إذا شوارع مكاني برموسكي يوم الخميس قبل أن تعيو تدخلنا نقطع مبدأ عن كسل كتوقع بتدري تراي بتعامل جميع نريد أن نعرف الجسد لازم بعض عنكم بعض عن عورتكم بالمقال نبدأ لنا في لومود هنا تقولي أمور الأحكام ذكر لفريقنا مالتي كاندي أبزوك بدالي بسانا أقولنا قلنا هزبنا أورا قلنا وتلو إنسانهم من الوقت عربيا مثل حركات الرئاسة بتاعته بالطرق الدنيا مالتي الشعب السودان السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا أريد أعمل التسجيل بالنسبة هذه الحرب هذه الغزوة التي شنت هذه المسؤولين الغنى الأفريقيا هم زي سافورت المجنون والعجوز وأبي أحمد المجنون الذي شنوا الحرب في الشعب التجاري. نحن شعب التجاري بالتاريخ لنا دائما ما عرفنا إلى الأسفل لأي واحد أبدا، ونحن ننتظر والنصرة لشعب السودان وشكرا لمساعداتكم. احنا سمعنا زي الرضا كانت اشترحت علينا كانت في السودان اسبوعين الماضي شعبنا وجدتم سروركم وجدتم بيتكم ونجمتم المشروبات والمأكولات وعبر رسالة شكر. الله يحفظ عليكم وربنا يخلف على شعب السودان وشعب جمهورية السودان والأمة السودان. يا غنيتي. الجودة حتى الولد في على بني يتبع وجهه على بنو. يتبعي إندو إثيوبيا تمت تحقيق بتاريخ 2 فبراير عدو قدسان جنامات لا يودسر أمري قرعة أفريقيا معمالي هبري سلاحيت كدو يبركني أب حدا أبري بمن بذتنيتي بمن تخبري إيدو إثيوبيا ክርስቲያን እስላሙ ሃይማኖት ነው ያሬዳዊ ጀማ ዮሐንስ ታውቁ ነው ኢልካ እንትዝንቶ ምን ይማዓልን ማዓልን ይበውን ነው ታሪክ ባዕሊንገር ባዕሊ መስክሮ ኢዶ ኢትዮጵያ ሰብአይን ጸሊቂ ጭሕምን ሰብአይን ጸሊቂን ጭሕምን ጸሊቂ ከዓጸባውዲት እኽለማይ ጸሊቂ እዚ ሞይ ሰለጠን مغانا عليكي مسموعنا شرتي درورا بليكي أعلى احترز ميكي بمدريب سماي وريح عليكي بإخلماي إلو إثيوبيا يا إيترايك سنت عبسو كذا كراوية خسكون وازا خزازا يغرزي بحال بدل زيزا جمت عنقا إندو إثيوبيا أيضا كنا ندقي هزة الرأي مالك ويا عقول الحريم وركي سلسلت أيضا كنا ندقي هزة الرأي مالك إذا أنت حجر زي نوان حجر إندو إثيوبيا لك أختم سليم مسير هو حقي ويا هو حزبي ويا خبر عمقي أيضا كنا ندقي نستطيع زي تدراي مكينة زي موتر معلتي بالملحس تاب تفتر تطلعت بسو أبتدت ستر أتازيونكو أتازياكو نحنا أنت نسكس نصوم نلكسو نحنا أنت نصوم نلكسو نحنا أنت نخبرهم نسلنا نلكسو وارتقب تسالنا اكتن جمال تخسو نمود كمل وعدهم نمول لو بدلهم نمو كورنسو أنتازي أكو إذا شوف أمامنا أنتازي أكو إذا شوف أمامنا عي متبتم عبي سزي بالله من شروع عريت لاي تاريخ وحيلا إذا كوايا بغنقع مسينا يوم تلش ترتو يقدلش بالله طب كل نجرو أتمي تجارو زبط يسعرو عصابات تحررو من ملسكم تقبرو عاود تبصرو يعيسوا عبد تجراي أنت راه تبدي أفرازك الحسي غتال مع عدي بتصدي من جدي شمرر تفيكي تنزيل بتاعتي ولا المخان كوينكي صوار كسر حي صور ولا المخان كوينكي صور بحر خسا دركوت كزاكي ناي آمين كي ريسا اخرج والكي أبدأ تجسسا أشوف يزيو كحلفيو أشوفها بتجراي بعد مدير حموت لإذا حزبها خلكا وين حياة وين موت تبقاش حزن لها أبتصم كلهم مت من السيد تجراوي أنت حتين حرة أنسين تمرر تتعنقر تتصدر النازل كله تتصدر عصبات عربيت تعاي عشاء زرابع سقاسم كمالعود زهتمتم وزابع عيتنا حسيالن قرارت كاملن تقراي زعتنبر زوصيالن تقراي تعوت يغمل
كنتو تفعلم تعني يغنيلنا قروب إجانا تاسمنا بلالنا إذا عن أرججة وليس تسعي إرفاع نحواتنا شفانوس يقع أقرامدي نحوانيهم عمدا شفانوس أقرامدي
على أبي منتج بها إنتاج النزاع في ساعات أرفت تأثير وقت مجبارين يمكن ساعات مجبارين وفي ترتيب حاكنا هيك بلده
ህዝብና ዝኾነ ናይ ዓለም ጫፍ ኮይኑ ንሰምዓና ንከታተለና እንትለዘሎ ክእልና ይኮናን ወፍ ንገብር ክእልና ይኮናን ንዛረብ ክእልና ይኮናን ንፅርሕ ዓብዪ ናይ ቃልሲ ኣገባብ ጥራሕ ዘይኮነ ዝተዘሓየለ ስእን ናይ ቃልሲ ኣገባብ እሞ እንቋዕ ኣሳብ ናይ ዝቃልሲ ክንከውን ኣጣዕሚ ቃልሲ ትግራይ ቃልሲ ስለካ እንተሆነ ግን ማዕት ዝኾነ ምፅእ ኣብ ውሽጢ ኣትዎ እንሆ ገለ ኣብቲ ጉጉይ መንገዲ ረጊፁ ገለ ከዓ ኣብቲ ቁኑዕ መንገዲ ረጊፁ ኣብዚ ሕጂ ዘለናዮ መድረክ ንርከብ ኣለና እንተኾነ ግን ህዝባዊ ቃልሲ ይነውሕ እምበር ህዝባዊ ቃልሲ